Hey, what's happening? So today we're going to add long-term memory to our chatting system. This way, when you come back at any point in time, it's going to remember all the previous conversations you had to better assist at answering your questions. It should be awesome. You're going to love it. All right, so a quick visual. I kind of define short-term memory as the current conversation. One question, answer, 3 question and answers. Whatever that is kind of what I consider short-term memory. I eventually take that short-term memory when you're done with the conversation. I send that over and I summarize the entire conversation and I store that to long-term memory. Then later on, when you start up another conversation, I go retrieve all long-term memory summaries, add that into our current conversation. So as you ask new questions, all the other previous summaries are going to be there. So if you do ask a question that pertains to anything in the previously talked about, you'll have an answer. Other than that, it's just extra information that would not be used in answering. It's going to be super cool. This is very powerful. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to first need a Mongo account. Cloud-based or local, either one doesn't matter. I'm going to use the cloud version of it. I created a cluster called long-term memory cluster, and you'll see there's no collections. So let's go ahead and start adding the information. First off, what we're going to need is a profile. So we do need to create a profile. So let's go ahead and go to create profile. All right, so after you enter the profile, it will give you the profile ID. That is in Mongo, and we'll check that in a little bit. We'll check it right now. Make sure it's updating correctly. All right, so now we do have a collection called profiles. The user ID is msulio, so we're going to use that one. Then just run the app. All right, so user ID was msulio. It's going to go ahead and check the profile, get my profile ID, and then start a conversation up. So it does know it has everything. It also does a check for long-term memory based on your profile. So if you did happen to have any other long-term memory chats, it would have brought that in. So question: what is the largest ocean on Earth? And gets its response. So one thing I did put in here is the ability to check your long-term by LTM. Long-term memory is empty. Short-term memory does have our current conversation in. So as I ask more questions, and I'm just going to say, how about the second? Because how about the second makes no sense unless it actually had the previous conversation in mind. So there you go. Good stuff. Again, check short-term memory. Everything is in there in good shape. And I'm going to go ahead and just say thanks. That is going to end the conversation. Save the long-term memory. This way now we can go into Mongo and check it out. So let's go that. We'll go into here. Refresh. And you'll see there's a bunch of stuff. My main one. And then the conversation. The conversations are stored in here by an array. So you can always do a recall to bring back previous conversations. The summary then now gets put into here. And there's your summary. I asked 2 questions, it gave me the answers, and they're good to go. So next time I ever have a conversation, let's have a different one that just doesn't have it with Q&A. So let's check out another one. Check out msulio. And let's say, show me a Python example of if-else. So it gives me a nice little response, tells me kind of what it did. And the good part is, you will see that now, long-term memory, I did bring in the long-term memory that was part of the information I sent to ChatGPT, but it knew right away that that had nothing to do with it, so it never used any of the information. And then my short-term memory is just the one question for here. So here's where it shows me the information from my long-term memory and my short-term memory. So I can just say, what was my question? What did I ask? What did I ask? Oh yeah. So again, it's just like knows exactly what I'm talking about. And exit. I'm going to go ahead and exit off, and we're going to look. All right, so now you'll see that there are 2 summary locations. Conversations, again, I can always go back and go back. Now you will see there is 2 conversations in here. Quick code walkthrough. If you go through the main on app, it's pretty basic the way you walk through it. Going to set up your long-term and short-term memories. It's going to simulate a login. Try to find your profile. Get all your profile information. Spin up a conversation. Pulls in your long-term memory. And then we'll just continue to loop through here for question and answers. Here's some of your exit words. So when you do want to end a conversation, if you type in exit, quit, bye, end, done, thanks, it will end it and you'll be good to go. If you do type in STM or LTM, it will give you those arrays. After that, and before it does send in the information, this is where it combines the long-term memory, the short-term memory, which is the current conversation, and your current question. Sends back the information, adds in your response to your short-term memory, and it updates your conversation on your long-term. So pretty straightforward, but extremely, unbelievably powerful. The applications for this are going to be fantastic. Have a great day.